the first and only episode of History Time with Bekah and Janelle.
US.
I'm Bekah and this is Janelle. Shut up.
What's that supposed to mean? No!
So for this episode, we will be talking about...
That was playing in the background. Okay, yeah, keep going.
In this episode, we will be talking about Martin Luther and the Reformation period.
Can we consider an episode considering that it's not really a season?
I mean,
It's like a video.
it's a movie.
It's a video.
Short movie.
It's called a short film. It's not a short movie.
Short film.
Yeah.
Anyway,
cut.
let's roll the clip.
It's not a clip.
Martin Luther. He looks like he's sleeping.
He's praying.
No, he's most definitely sleeping. And seriously, what is he wearing?
He's wearing a monk's robe.
I don't like it.
Learn to like it.
Still don't like it.
Fine. What's he supposed to look like?
Well, see, I was thinking a baseball cap, a nice jacket, oh, maybe even a skateboard. And his name should change to Marty. It sounds more hippie.
Like this?
Perfect! Ah, yes, continue. Is well known for being the one to unleash a chaotic rebellion against the Roman Catholic Church. This rebellion is called the Reformation. Before we dive into understanding the Reformation, let's take a look at Luther's early life and schooling. Luther was raised in a middle-class family, and, thanks to his father's hard work, Luther was able to receive a university education. Unfortunately for him, the educational system was brutal. Knowledge was quite literally beaten to the students. For example, the techniques used to teach Latin were through coercion and... Wait!
What?
What does coercion mean?
Coercion is when you persuade someone to do something by force or threats.
Oh, wonderful. Ridicule. If a student came to class unprepared, he'd have to wear a picture of a jackass and be addressed as a jackass without the jack part. If a student spoke German rather than Latin in class, he'd be beat by a stick. Luther started school at the young age of 7 and was once caned 15 times for not mastering the tables of Latin grammar. In the education system back then, once you mastered Latin, you could go on to more advanced education. At the age of only 14, Luther went to Magdeburg, where he lived and studied under a religious organization called the Brethren of the Common Life. Yo, Bekah, you that accomplished?
Shut up.
That's not nice.
Well, your previous statement's not nice.
It was a question, not a statement.
Well, are you that accomplished? Didn't think so.
There, he went to study at a school called Eisenach, where students had to literally sing for their dinner, and after classes, they'd roam around the streets in choirs to beg for food. Hey, that's actually a pretty good idea.
Oh, goodness.
No, hear me out. Imagine, a lady opens her door and finds a bunch of cute little children singing in the rain for food. How could she possibly not give them food?
Gee, I don't know.
Well, I'd give those poor kids something to eat.
Ever heard of stranger danger?
They're children.
Still, who knows?
I shake my head.
Make sure it doesn't fall off.
Nearing the end of his stay, Luther was fortunate to find some supportive teachers who introduced him to the Latin classics and history. This sparked a fascination within him, and he later translated Aesop's fables from Latin to German. Due to the promise of improved family status and wealth, Luther's father wanted him to become a lawyer. So, Luther attended the University of Erfurt, where he received both his Bachelor of Arts and Master's degrees. Here, the university's language of instruction was Latin, and the method of instruction was detailed study and commentary on text, with particular attention to Aristotle and his writings on logic, or, in other words, the Di Donato method.
I freaking love the Di Donato method!
Do you really?
Heck yeah!
Or are you just saying that because Dr. D is sitting over there? Hello, Dr. D.
What are you talking about?
Really?
Yeah, I mean, Western Civ is great.
Sure, whatever you say.
Disputations, also known as debates, were central to their method of teaching and not only displayed intellectual skill and growth in logical thinking, but it also served as a search for the truth. Every professor was required to hold public debates, and both faculty and students were required to attend weekly debates on selected topics. This form of disputation is the same form that Luther used to write his 95 Theses, as well as many of his other writings. In this, as well as other ways, the Reformation was a movement from within the universities. And as a movement within the universities, the Reformation was greatly impacted from the approach known as humanism. Humanism is the application of the critical intellectual recovery of ancient sources to education, the church, and society as a whole.
I thought humanism would be something like the art of being human, or perhaps how to humanize a dying alien.
Aliens aren't real.
Do you know that?
No, but
I rest my case.
The sources of humanism included Scripture and the Church Fathers. The widespread approval of Luther by humanists in the years leading up to the Edict of Worms in 1521 reflected their view of him as an important representative of this new learning and his opposition towards scholastic and ecclesiastical abuses of religion and power. Luther's transition from studying law to the monastic life and the study of theology occurred in the context of piety in his day. The late medieval period was a time of insecurity prompted not only by the physical difficulties of the time, but also through the rapid social changes that questioned the values and traditional truths people had lived by. The church made these insecurities worse by promoting a type of preaching designed to make people even more insecure about their salvation, which in turn made them more lenient on the church. They would even put up representations of Christ on the throne of judgment with a sword and a lily on the opposite sides of his mouth. The lily represented resurrection to heaven, but the sword of judgment to eternal torment was so vivid in the minds of people that even Luther refused to look at it.
I don't see the traumatization of the picture.
is that even a word?
I don't know. But it's written in the script, and Google Docs hasn't put a squiggly red angry line underneath it yet.
Good point.
Thank you. I'm full of good points.
And you also happen to be the unique owner of a very big head.
The bigger the head, the bigger the brain, so I'm not complaining.
Did you get that off of Pinterest?
Nope, it's completely original. Feel free to quote it in your commonplace, by the way.
Well, I'm not surprised.
What's that supposed to mean?
My goodness.
Such pictures were everywhere, constantly reminding people of their eternity and how they could achieve it. Since most people did not prefer going to hell, the church and theologians made a set of practices and exercises to help people avoid it. One key scholastic idea that led to this insecurity about salvation was expressed in the phrase "Facere quod in se est," meaning, do what lies within you, do your very best. In context, this means to strive for God's love with the best of your ability, and through this, you will prompt God to reward your efforts with the grace to do even better. This understanding of salvation brought on the concentration of achieving as many good works as possible in order to earn God's reward. This theology enhanced insecurities because it threw people back to relying on their own merits instead of God's. However, most people were grateful for whatever help they could get in their quest for salvation. Saints' bones and other such relics were collected and revered with the thought that this would effectively reduce the sentence of purgatory. For example, Frederick the Wise had one of the largest relic collections of the area with over 19,000 pieces, which is worth more than 1,900,000 days' indulgences. Some of his collection included a piece of the burning bush, soup from the fiery furnace, milk from Mary, and a piece of Jesus' crib, a thorn from his crown, and a piece of his cross.
Is it me, or is that a bit creepy?
It's you.
Who wants, quote, milk from Mary? My question is, how do you even get centuries-old milk from a lady? Wait, on second thought, how do you get milk from a lady in the first place? That's what I thought. Do they...
That's enough.
Just saying.
We don't need to know.
But...
Try not to interrupt anymore. The poor audience would like to watch the video.
I think that's a bit of an unfair extrapolation.
Do you even know what that word means?
No, but it sounds fancy.
It means the action of estimating or concluding something by assuming that existing trends will continue or a current method will remain applicable.
Goodness, did you quote the definition from the dictionary?
In fact, I did.
And you say I'm weird.
You are.
Hey!
Just saying.
The thought behind gaining relics and indulgences, and even naming children after saints, was that they held a sort of mediator between them and God, and because of this they'd be able to force their way into heaven. The outstanding prosperity of the indulgence trade was fueled not only by the desire of the believers, but also the financial interests of the Church. Scholars are still puzzled over why the piety in the late Middle Ages was so great, since no other period celebrated so many religious festivals and processions, nor threw itself so wholeheartedly into church construction. Unfortunately, this devotion erupted in mass attacks on Jews and people who were thought to be witches. In this time death was thought often about, and so anxiously feared. The paintings by Hieronymus Bosch had weird, rapid-breeding hybrid creatures associated with lust and fertility, also in the end symbolized sterility and death.
What a pleasant picture. Dr. D, if you're watching, which you are, could you please hang one of these up on your wall?
Yeah, and traumatize any small children that happen to walk in the room.
You wouldn't traumatize them. You'd merely mentally scar them. There's a difference.
That literally means the same thing.
No, there's a difference.
I can't with you.
Confessionals popped up as a place where every real or imagined failure was dug out. The ordinary people were expected to go to confession frequently. There, the priest pried into every aspect of their lives, especially their sexual lives. The list of sexual sins in the confessional manuals was so complete that even sexual thoughts were categorized according to the particular danger of damnation resulting from them. Celibacy was highly promoted as a supreme form of God-pleasing life. Even marriage and family were degraded as necessary evils for the reproduction of the community. The Reformers' attack on the mandatory celibacy and their renewed appreciation of the joy of sex was understandably received well by the common people.
Bekah, I'm too young for this.
You're 14. Grow up.
No, I'm 5 at heart. And goodness, I can't even watch kissing scenes without scrunching up my face. Emmeline can testify to that.
Oh dear, you're worse than I thought.
What's that supposed
If you finish that sentence, I will personally make sure you meet that hybrid creature thingy that you want Dr. D to hang up in his room.
But that hybrid creature isn't real.
It's the 21st century. I'm sure we can think of something.
Sure, whatever you say.
Luther's Reform movement was not initiated by the righteous and moral indignation directed against perceived superstitions or the corruption of the Renaissance papacy. Rather, Luther's movement was rooted in his own personal anxiety about salvation, the same anxiety that was spread throughout the whole of Europe. Without salvation, everyone would die and go to hell.
Oh wait, recording. Okay. Don't stop. It's okay. Hi guys. That's all we have for the video today. Thank you for watching. Thank you also for respecting the fact that this is our first time doing a video. We're amateurs. Amateurs at its finest. Noobs. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, even though you were made to because it's our Western Civilization project. Dr. Janelle, if you ever want to do a presentation, we'd be more than happy to do episode 2. Absolutely not. That was literal hell. Ouch. I mean, we spent 6 hours on it. My feelings. I'm going to edit that, by the way, okay, guys? I don't know, actually. I'm going to edit that out. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Dr. Janelle, you're a wonderful teacher. You are... Suck up. Shush. You're benefiting from this, too. Am I? Yes, you will be. You're gonna get the grade 2. Now, anyway, guys, we deserve an A because, reasons. I had to work with her, and that was torture. Whoa. Okay. And we also spent, like, more than 40 hours on this. Actually, technically we did. Yeah. So, we deserve an A. Please give us an A. Anyway, thank you. Bye.